There are lots of new things in Houdini 22, and one of them that I wanted to take a look at is the new Planar Inflate node inside of COPS. So I'm just in a CopNet here, and there is this new node called the Planar Inflate, which kind of works somewhat similar to something like you would see with like Vellum, like an inflation. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. We've got an input here that's going to require an SDF. So if we drop down an SDF shape, that will give us an SDF. We can make this whatever we want. Why don't we choose something a little bit more interesting? So let's see. Maybe, well, the fish scale is probably not a good one. This moon might be interesting. Let's change the settings up a little bit. Maybe something to that effect. And let's go ahead and wire this into our SDF. And if I just preview this, this is kind of what we're going to get. So we're going to just drop down a preview material node. And let's take our height and just wire that into our height input here. And let's come to our preview material. We can go ahead and just look at it. Let's leave it on this grid. And I'm going to take the divisions up quite a bit, maybe up to like 300, just to give us something that is pretty high res. And we can just hit Shift W in the viewport to get rid of those lines there. That wire shaded kind of goes away here. So if we take a look here, we have a kind of moon that is being just inflated away from the surface of our grid. And we can control that all through this planar inflate node. So as we come through here, this height scale is going to be whether it inflates inward or it inflates outward. Inward, it kind of works. I guess it works, but what you're probably going to use it more for is going to be a height kind of outward. So if we take the height scale, we can control how much of an inflation effect happens. We also have this pre-scale, which does a kind of a similar thing. We'll just go ahead and leave that on the default. And we've got some other settings here. So we've got this iterations down here, which is going to be kind of like the resolution of it. So if I turn this down, we're not going to get a whole lot of inflation. As I start to increase this, though, we can see how this kind of happens. So at 25, that's going to be pretty good for a lot of different cases. We can, crank this up to like 100 if we wanted to, but just be cautious of that, as it's going to cause it to be more intensive, I guess. So we can leave it on 100 for the moment. We'll see kind of how responsive it is. So we've got these wrinkles, we've got the mounds, and then we've got this blur setting here, which let's go ahead and turn on the wrinkles and we can see what this is going to do for us. And it makes it super, super noisy here kind of at the start. So let's go ahead and play around with these. We can scale down our size, or if we scale up our size, we get much larger noise here. You have a seed that you can play around with too. This is basically just a noise that's going to be applied to this. We've got a boundary blend here that should affect kind of how close to our like boundary edge, how harshly that happens. But let's go ahead and just bring that down. You can see how this kind of affects it. At least I thought this boundary blend was going to be that. Let's go ahead and take a read through the documentation here real quick. So for the wrinkles boundary blend, the amount to blend the wrinkle is scaled near the SDF boundary. Higher values make the wrinkle pattern respond more strongly to the boundary. So it sounds like it is supposed to kind of do that. So as we increase this, should respond more to the boundary, but you can kind of see the effect that has on this. And then we can also add mounds, which these two kind of go hand in hand together and give you a much better looking, inflation, something that looks a little bit more kind of realistic there. So definitely use those kind of hand in hand there. And now we get something that's more like a like a sheet being pulled over something on like a tight, like a taut like surface there. So we can play around with the size of these mounds here, and they can also give you this little nice effect here of kind of a, like a, I don't know, just a lumpy surface, I guess. So if you increase that and say, if you go too small, like we had here, you get that kind of like lumpiness that happens. As you increase it, you start to get more of that kind of like taut look to your, like almost like a balloon, like one of those like inflated balloons that are nylon. That's the word I was looking for, nylon balloons. So we can take this, obviously this is one shape. If I go ahead and just make a copy of this, you can take this and I'm going to set this back to basic and set it to this rectangle. And then we can take this and let's uniform scale this down just a little bit, maybe 0.98. Let's do a transform 2D. And then we can rotate this -45 degrees and we can scale this down. And we want to make sure that this is somewhat tileable. So let's do 0.1415. 0.1415. That just keeps the tiling kind of there. Makes it may not be exact, but that is visible enough that it is not visible, I guess. That makes sense. It's a good tiling amount for this particular shape that makes it so the seam's not super visible. So we can take this and wire this into our planar inflate. Now let's wire this into a height. And you can see that we start to get like one of those couches that have this like diamond pattern. I don't know exactly what they're called off the top of my head, but we can play around with this as well. So our kind of in between them is maybe a little bit too tight. So we can come in here and not into the transform 2D, but in this uniform scale, maybe drop this to 0.95. We'll see what that gives us. So that gives you a little bit of a softer kind of seam there. And then we can play around with some of these settings as well. We can get maybe a nice little kind of view to this. I wish that there was a better blend. I guess you can blur this some and try to dial back some of that detail. But I wish there was a blend for these with just the original, shape. So we could kind of blend between them directly into this node, which we could do just on our own. But I think it would be something that would be pretty nice to have directly on the node itself. So just trying to find something that maybe looks good here. You can play around with all these different settings. Yeah. Not really sure what I'm liking here. But you get the idea. We can kind of mess with this and get kind of interesting looks for these types of effects. Let's maybe take that blur back down. And we can play around with our boundary blend too and see if that affects anything. We do have a noise scale here as well, which allows us to just, as it says, scale that noise that's being applied to these. And this is maybe getting closer to what I wanted. I guess this kind of works as like almost like a amplitude modifier, like a blend between them. So this is kind of closer to what I was looking for. And then we could, play around with our height scale and really crank this up if we wanted to, or we can just kind of dial that back to get a nice kind of soft look to this texture. But either way, this is how I would go about starting to use this this node for any type of those like couches. I wish I could remember what they're called, or those like pillows. Pillows would be a good one if you're trying to texture a pillow. This would be a good way to get some extra detail in like where like the seams would be, or like some pillows have those like buttons in the middle of them. Where they kind of have these kind of like tight, wrinkly areas. That'd be a good way to get some extra detail without having to just model that all into it. So anyways, this is new to Houdini 22. Before we could do this, but we would have to simulate this with Vellum. So a lot quicker to iterate through using this. So play around with it, see what you can come up with. I'm sure there's going to be some cool uses for this. We'll probably see some pretty cool textures coming out of this that use this Planar Inflate node. Like I said, a lot of like those couches or the pillows, or even some sci-fi textures would use this to create that kind of inflated look. Very, very cool that we have this directly inside of Cops. But anyways, hopefully this has helped you out. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to learn more about Houdini 22, I will have a bunch more videos coming out here in the future, along with some other cool stuff that I'm working on. So definitely stick around so you don't miss any of that. But thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.